And it's hot.
Someone's wearing shorts.
And someone's wearing shorts. Actually, it's funny. I walked out of the house this morning and I did not even notice. I was in the garden today picking weeds, you know, like you do every single morning, and didn't notice I hadn't changed my shoes. So I didn't notice until all of a sudden I had a sticker in my foot, you know, a tackweed. It's like, why do I have a tackweed with these shoes? Oh, I see why. So yeah. All right. Okay. Have eggs in the back. Small charge for those. We have squash in the back. Take them, please. We have marshmallows?
There's a bag of marshmallows.
Oh yeah, take the marshmallows too. Summer dialogue meetings on this coming Monday. Will be discussion with focus on how our emotions affect our physical body. So be there, be square. Josie does that here in the evening on Mondays. And that's another announcement for Summer Dialogue. And I know Course in Miracles is going to do stuff this afternoon. Anybody ever done Course in Miracles? It's cool. I mean, it really is. It's a great, meaningful series. Special cool?
Special cool today.
Why, you're going to have a fan on?
William and I are doing our deal today, and we are hyped because we've got good news.
Okay. Good news today on Course in Miracles. So, and if you want to know what Course in Miracle is, talk to them. And you're still doing the stuff at the community center?
On Monday afternoons at 3 p.m.
Monday afternoons at 3 p.m. for Qigong class. That's right. Okay, I knew that was right. If I don't have my cheat notes up here, I don't remember anything. If it's not here, I don't know. Oh yeah, and that's that's not. It is here. Okay, good. Clearing chakras also tomorrow night, William and Sandra. Drumming circle on Tuesday night. I think Gerald's doing drumming circle as far as I know. So drumming circle on Tuesday night. Introduction to Qigong, Marianne, on Wednesday. Followers of the Way on Thursday. If you want to know what Followers of the Way are, or what it is, talk to Janice. It's something that if you think you understand the Bible, yeah, maybe not. Jan brings a whole new perspective to all of that. So, stuff going on this week, even in the heat of summer. And I don't remember where I was here. Let's see. Okay, I will just start here, and if somebody tells us, Phil, you just did that, then I'll know I did these ones. These are t-shirts, by the way. You can buy these t-shirts. So, telling a woman to calm down works about as well as baptizing a cat. Sawdust is man glitter. Just remember, if we get caught, you're deaf and I don't speak English. Admit it, life would be boring without me. Go get an amen on it. Yeah. Physically, I'm here. Mentally, I'm in a galaxy far, far away. I don't trip. I do random gravity checks. Okay. All right. Yep. We do have a couple patron saints by the name of George Carlin and John Lennon. And John said, life is what happens while you're making other plans. Amen. Sheesh. And George, no one who has had taps played for them has ever been able to hear it. All right. And this is the last of the alternative cuss words. Okay. Yep. Son of a biscuit eater, son of a Baptist preacher, bacon bit, nutcracker, motherless goat, horse, hockey, pucky, feathers, and patootie. For heaven's sakes, the love of Pete's sakes, and for crying out loud. And the triple play is Bob Saget, Pat Sajak, and Alex Trebek. Yeah, there you go. All right. Let's see. Here, the problem is, I actually did these last week, during the week, so I don't remember what the heck I did, because that was a few days ago. Of course, that doesn't matter. I usually do these Sunday morning. I don't remember either. So, anyone who can handle a needle convincingly can make us see a thread which is not there. I think I did that one.
You did it. She's like,
Thank you. Thank you. I thought I did. So, social tact is making your company feel at home, even though you wish they were. It is the property of fools to be always judging. If you take too long in deciding what to do with your life, you'll find you've done it. When the mouse laughs at the cat, there's a hole nearby. The best teachers of humanity are the lives of great men. To be ignorant of the lives of the most I did these ones, didn't I? I did those ones. I remember those. A book is the only immortality. Books are lighthouses erected in the area of time, or in the sea of time. I don't know how I got area out of there, but sea of time. Books are lighthouses erected in the great sea of time. Books are embalmed minds. Do you see the guy? He lives in Richland, opening up a bookstore because he's got, 30, 40,000 books in his house. He's been collecting books most of his life. He's got all kinds of old memorabilia from the 40s and 50s, and so he's actually opening up a store, I guess just to sell his stuff. Kind of interesting, but it's going to be a lot of technology-based, science-based stuff. So some science has not changed. Some technology has probably changed a little bit in the last 50 years. Okay. Cinderella's slippers were originally made of fur. The story was inadvertently changed by a translator in the 1600s who confused the very similar old French words for glass and fur, actually it's veer and fair, respectively. So she really didn't have glass slippers. So there. When my grandson Billy and I entered our vacation cabin, we kept the lights off until we were inside to keep the attracting pesky insects. Still, a few fireflies followed us in. Noticing them before I did, Billy whispered, "It's no use, Grandpa. Now the mosquitoes are coming after us with flashlights." Anybody ever lived anywhere where there was fireflies? That is so cool. They really are so cool. They're weird-looking bugs, but it's neat to see all the lights out, and it's like it's bizarre. It's bizarre. Anything else going on that I should know about? Anybody having a picnic that I can be invited to? Okay. A man was driving when a traffic camera flashed. He thought his picture was taken for exceeding the speed limit, even though he knew he was not speeding. Just to be sure, he went around the block and passed the same spot, driving even slower this time. But again, the camera flashed. He thought this was quite funny, so he slowed down even further as he drove past the area again. But the traffic light flashed again. He tried a fourth time with the same result. Obviously, this guy's got nothing to do. The fifth time, he was laughing when the camera flashed as he rolled past at a snail's pace. 2 weeks later, he got 5 traffic fine letters in the mail for driving without a seatbelt. Oops. Yeah. Now that usually works. There we go. All right. Mike has spent literally months redoing our music on the computer. And yeah, I know. It's like after a few weeks, it's like, wow, he's doing a lot of stuff. So he completely revamped how it was done and all that kind of stuff. So I'm debuting it today, reluctantly, with him not here.
We still have the vote.
Yeah. So actually, I'm going to do.
Went to put my microphone on and realized I don't have any pockets. So I had to get the little pouch. Doesn't match my outfit. Sometimes it hurts to be a Virgo. Frequently it hurts to be a Virgo. Any other Virgos in here? There's one. Right? Oh, and the baby's a Virgo, yes. I'm so sorry. We can be very interesting people, though, so. What? What did you say? I didn't hear you that time. Oh, it hurts to be a Virgo's husband? Not yet. Okay, we have some visitors in our crowd today, so I need to let you know that we laugh a lot, and there's a reason for that. Primarily because we're goofs, but secondarily, it's really difficult to walk a spiritual path without your sense of humor engaged. When we don't have that sense of humor engaged, life beats us up. So Phil tells jokes and does things that make you go, so that gives you a chance to shift from what's happening out there in the real world in your life and being in here where you can receive a spiritual blessing. How many people, when you walk through the door, could feel something was different in here? Don't you love that? We had somebody who did a workshop in the back yesterday, and she said she just doesn't come to church, but she loves coming in just to feel the energy of this sacred space. Because there's the energy that we create here is loving and supportive and joyful. So that joyful piece is really, really important. So here's the deal. Had this plan, lesson, passages to share with you. May still share them, I don't know. So as I'm looking over my stuff this morning, it's like, there's no energy on this at all. So I can still give you that message, but there's no energy on it. So I'm getting the sense, because I get the sense that Spirit's right here, wants to talk to you, wants to tell you something, but I don't know what that is yet. So plan A, I could just keep talking till something hits. Plan B is what's on your heart. Tell me what's on your heart, and let's see what comes up from that. So that's really dangerous for me to open it up for you. Shall we live dangerously, or shall we just let me blather on for a bit? So what's on your heart? Tell me. Jackie.
Looking for gratitude.
Looking for gratitude. Ooh, awesome. Should we talk about that for a minute? Yes, go ahead, Marianne.
Today at Sundance Camp, there's Tree Day when they put prayer ties on the tree. And so I'm thinking, I didn't leave any with Dan all ready to tie on, so I'm into that prayer ties. What am I asking for today? And in this tradition, the eagle takes the prayers up and the break.
Okay. So requesting so that you can have gratitude. So that the gratitude, prayers, and requests. Okay, let's talk a little bit about that. Yeah, Joe, did you have a? Shifting.
Being grateful shifts.
Yeah, being grateful for shifts. Yeah, shifting is a challenge, isn't it? To get from here to where you want to be. Okay, let's see how that all plays together, shall we? Let's look at that. Let's start with talking a little bit about prayer. Sometimes we feel that our prayers get about this far. Do you ever have a sense of that? And they just don't seem to be going anywhere? Well, there's reasons for that. And part of the reason for that is that we're hanging on to them. You know, they can't go anywhere because we're like, no, I want it to be this way. And we hang on to stuff. And there's ways to ask that are more effective for us than others. Sometimes if we just ask, God, give me this right now, God, give me this, then it's harder to see when the blessings roll in. because we have an expectation, we have a narrow band of what it could look like. So our prayers work best when they're focused or centered on our heart's desires, not on what we think we lack. So what's your heart's desire? What is it you're truly longing for? And here's the thing with longing. Longing is different than wanting. I want it to be a certain way. I want this to stop hurting. I want this thing to make my life better. A longing is more of an energy of hopefulness, anticipation. Can you feel the difference between the two? A longing is like, I long to find a way to be of service. I long to find a way for my life to have purpose and meaning. I'm longing for a way to feel my own value. That's different than wanting. Make sense? So if we can shift our focus just a little bit, when we have a wanting, we tend to stay wanting. I want that. Well, and the universe will serve up want for us. If we find our heart's desire and we put our attention on that and ask for that to be fulfilled, Spirit can do that and will grant that for us in a full open measure. Pressed down, what's the Bible passage? Pressed down, shaken, pressed down, overflowing. It's like brown sugar. Have you ever made cookies and used brown sugar? And you put brown sugar in a cup and then you mash it. And it's, oh my gosh, that just crushes right down to the little thing. You put more brown sugar in, oh, crushes down even further. And you just keep adding. Well, that's how the blessings will come for you. Just like brown sugar and just as sweet. When we move into a place of what is our heart desire. If our prayers have to do with our heart's desire, that gives them wings. So what is this heart's desire for you? It's not about what are you lacking. It's about what brings you joy. And ask for more of that. Sometimes when we're in a place, especially if we're hurting, we want the pain to stop. But that's where the shifting comes in. Because if we can shift our focus into what our heart desires, into that joy, what brings you joy? What brings you delight? What brings you peace? And pray for more of that. Because whatever you're focusing on, that's what's going to be served up for you. If you're focusing on pain, the universe says, Spirit, God, Divine Source, Higher Power, whatever that term is for you, thinks you want more of that so you could look at that some more. Oh, that person betrayed me. Okay, well, let's bring somebody else because she really likes that. She's talking about that all the time. She's thinking about that all the time. That's in her conscious thought all the time. Let's bring more of that. Our awareness is so powerful, and we don't think so. We think we're just this little bobber on a lake that got disconnected from the fishing line, and we're just floating around. No, you're not only connected to this earth in this physical form, we're grounded in this physical form, we're also connected spiritually. There is a spiritual connection that's always there. And we forget that. We think we're just this little bobber floating around. Is that what they call bobbers? Okay. Oh, I'm not a fisher person, so. So we can shift from that state of wanting into the state of recognizing what our heart desires. And how do we do that? Gratitude. Gratitude is a superpower. It's a superpower. If you can master gratitude, man, you're a superhero. Because that changes everything. That's the shift mechanism. And again, what we're grateful for, the universe goes, oh, let's give her more of that. Let's give him more of that. Let's serve that up. And more will come. So what are you really grateful for? What are you really grateful for? And what's interesting is the things that often we're grateful for are the things that are non-tangible. Oh, sure, we start out with, I'm grateful for my home, and I'm grateful for vehicle, and I'm grateful for food on the table, I'm grateful for, they're all physical things. But pretty soon your list gets to, I'm grateful to be of service. I'm grateful to have the connections with the people that I do. I'm grateful for the love that I share with my friends. My sister-in-law, before she passed away, she shared a prayer with me that her friends shared with her. And it's, as you're consuming food, sit down at the table, see if I can get it right. Thank you for the food before us, the love between us, and the friends around us. Isn't that beautiful? I may have not gotten the words perfectly right, but that is so encompassing. Because yes, it's important to be grateful for the physical things, but it's also wonderful to be grateful for this loving connection. And that empowers us and helps us shift into being able to take action as it steps into our awareness. Sometimes we get hung up. I know personally, I get really hung up in, I've got to do this and I've got to do that and I've got to get this done and I've got to get that done. Anybody else fall into that little, yeah. And when we're busy doing that, we forget to be. And when we forget to be, gratitude goes away. Joy goes away. Love goes away. And when we can shift through gratitude, shift back into that awareness, that connectedness, no longer are we bobbing around being battered from one task to the next task. Now all of a sudden we're at peace, we're strong, and we're powerful. And what's really cool is the next right thing will show up. We don't have to worry about it. We don't have to think it out. We don't have to analyze it or fret. The next right thing is just going to show up. And when the next right thing shows up, then we have enough energy to take action on it. Often when we get ourselves all spun up, we can't take action because we're drained. We're exhausted. And when we can release that with that power of gratitude, shifting into the power of gratitude, then the universe will serve stuff up for us. It's beautiful. Matter of fact, one of my Bible passages today speaks to that very thing. Seek ye first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added to you. If you're looking for the right stuff, if you're looking for righteousness, that's the good stuff. If you're looking for what brings you bliss and joy and happiness, if you're looking for that, you're looking for ways to be of service, you're looking for ways to fulfill your purpose, your divine destiny. You all have one. We all do. When you're looking for that, then all the other stuff comes effortlessly. And it comes without us struggling. I get tired of struggling. It's really nice to be able to sit, and then all of a sudden somebody will say something, and who knows? I didn't know that was going to happen, or I didn't know that was going to be a possibility even. But here it is. And it's just served up for me. And the key is this gratitude, which causes the shift, which allows us to find ways to pray. Now let's talk about prayer again, just a little bit more. There's no wrong way to pray. There's no wrong way to pray. There's no wrong way to pray. If you have an open heart and you are willing to communicate with all that is, you're heard. Now here's the thing. We think our prayers aren't heard. We think, here the kitty cat just walked down the aisle. We think God and prayers are like a kitty cat. You can call a cat and call a cat. Is a cat going to come? No. We think that's what prayer is. If you shake the kitty cat treats can, yeah, maybe. But that's not how it works. That's not how any of this works. It's not like you're calling to some thing out there that is capricious and 1 minute likes you, 1 minute doesn't. That's not how it is. The book tells us God is love. And there's no shifting or shadow of turning in that. It's just all love all the time. So how can we verbalize our prayers in a way where we feel heard? And I think the key to that whole thing is gratitude. Because if we start with gratitude, then as we move into, here's a situation I'm dealing with, instead of saying, fix it, take it away, we can then shift our consciousness into, help me see the next step. And that will be served up. Because guess what? God is not the fairy godmother who's going to come down with magic wand and go ting and make your life okay. You're the one doing that. You get to do that. The key is we don't know what the next right thing is because we get all befuddled and stressed out and worried, and we try to just do all this stuff and make ourselves crazy doing that. But if we can back up a little bit, access gratitude, shift, and then speak from our heart. Your brain says you don't have enough. Life may evidence that for you. You know, bills coming on. Oh. But in truth, you're breathing, you're living, you're moving. That's enough. And what's really cool is you're enough to make a difference. That's more important. You came here to make a difference. And you are. You don't know you are. It's like throwing a pebble into a pool. The ripples are there. So here's the thing. Why don't we see the ripples? Because there's this back ripple of mass consciousness that tells us the world is going to hell in a handbasket and everything's terrible. And you should be afraid. You should be afraid. Yes, I'd be very afraid. And that's really not the truth. That's an undercurrent, but it's not the truth. That's mass consciousness eating at you. The truth is, you can make a difference. You are making a difference. Your conscious choice to be aware and present and loving makes a difference. And is making a difference not only in your own life as things show up for you to take action on, and showing up for you as blessings, but is also showing up in other people's lives. People see and people respond to that. And people notice. You don't think they do, but they do. You are this beacon of light. I need to say this about that. You're not the one doing the shining. You're the one doing allowing the shining. You're not the shine. You can shine. You are shining. It's like we're the lantern. And we can take the lid off and let it shine, or we can cover that up. The shine's still there. And it's not like you're how can I say this? Let me help me say this differently. There is a spark within you that is love and light. And that spark is connected to divine light. And when you're connected to divine light, you beam a beacon of energy that people can sense, people can tell. And we can diminish that connection and diminish that shine when we fall into worry and fear and loss and all that. Now, it's easier to put the basket over our heads and just hide. Because, you know, when you shine, people notice. People want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to people. I'm an introvert. I don't want to talk to you. But it doesn't matter if you engage in conversation. Just being around somebody who has their light shining is so peaceful. It's wonderful. People like that. It feels really good. That's what makes this space, this physical space, so wonderful to walk into. Because it's been harmonized to this loving light energy. And we are that loving light energy. We feel it more when you walk in here because the resonance has been anchored here. But you're the energy. And when you walk out of here, you vibrate at that same energy. You're still shining. You're still shining. It's like you take a stick out of the fire. You know, it still can burn and be bright, but is brighter in the group. That's why it's really important to connect with like minds and share that energy. Because I don't know about you, when you're out in the world and people are negative and whining about this and whining about that and ain't it awful, it's really hard to shine. You feel diminished because they're trying to put a bushel basket over you. They're trying to put a wet blanket over your shine. Don't let them do that. And sometimes that's why it's really important to connect at least once a week with people have like minds, because that helps us to reignite. And you feel fired up, and there's a reason for that. There's one other thing I wanted to share with you. And that's not it. Oh, here it is. So the fruit of the Spirit, when you're spiritually connected, this is what's going to manifest in your life. Okay? The fruit of the Spirit is love. Love will engender itself within your life. People will love you. You'll be able to share that loving experience. Joy. That's why we tell jokes. We want to reconnect to that joyfulness. Because we forget. We think life has to be hard and painful. Peace. Oh, how cool is that? And peace is that moment when you shift. When you shift out of that into this, there's peace. Patience. I hate this one. I don't like this one. I would like to have a black marker and mark it out. But I'm not going to. Patience. Patience is this beautiful ability to abide in where you are. Wherever you are, be there. Right, wrong, good, or bad. That's patience. And I think that's the title of our message today was Decide to Abide. So here it is. There we go. Kindness. Goodness. Faithfulness. Gentleness. Self-control. Against such things there's no law. You can't get fined for being kind. Well, maybe you can. I don't know. We are experiencing those. What passage for that? Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Galatians 5:22. Now, if you want to read ahead of that, what was going on in that was it talks about the deeds of the flesh. And let's face it, we don't want any of that stuff because that's just that mass consciousness, humanity. We don't have to live there. We can live in this higher plane of awareness. We can live in this higher plane of being that allows us all of these attributes effortlessly. It doesn't take any energy to be kind. Opportunities to be kind to show up. And you know what? It's really fun. You know, when you do a kind thing and somebody goes, oh, that was unexpected. Isn't that the greatest hoot? I love that. And same thing with this gentleness. If you're gentle with somebody who's really struggling, maybe they're struggling with you, and you're gentle with them, what a gift. What a beautiful gift that is. There was one other verse that I'm being drawn to, and I don't know that I can find it really fast. Encourage one another. It's important to encourage one another because we do get stuck. We do forget that we're love and light. And we do forget that this loving presence of divine love and light wants our best interest, wants us to be happy, delights in us. Have you ever seen a little kid? You may have to bring Marcus up here. Let's look at a little kid. Can you look at a little kid and not just go, oh? That's how God sees you. God looks at you and goes, oh, you're so cute. Look at that. And we get struggle and temper tantrum and go, God goes, oh, I know. It hurts. I'm sorry. Right? That's that joy. And we can access that through prayer. And prayer is just this beautiful moment where we shut up the brain telling us we're not good enough and we're not worthy, and we just open up and speak our truth. and we're heard. And when we're heard, this beautiful peace descends, this love descends, patience comes, joy happens, and we're blessed. Blessings just roll upon blessings. It's just crazy how much wonderful, good stuff can come to us. So let's practice a prayer. Where's my prayer book? I typed these up for us for our expo. They come in handy really good. Let's look under daily life. How about a prayer for gratitude? Did you like that? Mary Lilga wrote this one for us. So here's the thing. Be here. Be in this moment. Whatever's going on in your world, whatever's happening out there, that's out there. You're mine right now. You're here. You've chosen to be here. Choose to stay here. Choose to be aware. All right? As I read this, just allow yourself to speak it back to spirit. One moment. Phil, my beloved, let's do the singing bowl first. You want to just do this, just come up and do that right now? We'll not do the singing bowl prayer, we'll do this prayer after the singing, as he's doing the singing bowl. How does that sound? Don't you just love it when it flows? I don't know. You know, it's hard work for me. I'm going to go home really tired. I'm going to need a nap for sure today. It's hard to stay open and trusting and willing, and I'd rather know it and do it my way. Not that you would ever do that. Anytime, Phil. I'm done babbling. The singing bowl is tuned to your throat chakra, which is being able to speak your truth. So speak your truth to spirit. Loving spirit of light, I am grateful for the abundant blessings in my life. Thank you for guiding me out of the darkness and into your divine light. I'm thankful that you walk with me on this path called life, and you always lift me up when I stumble. I'm grateful for the loving ways you teach me and the comforting angels you send when life lessons get hard. I honor you for encouraging me when I strive to do good and for showing me how much I matter. I'm grateful for all the synchronicities in my life. I'm thankful for my fellow travelers on this wondrous earth and for the universe of possibilities that expands before me. With love and gratitude. And so it is. And the mood is broken. No. Gotta love Phil. So let's do a guided meditation, shall we? I don't know why, but I need to take my glasses off. Deep breath in, please. And exhale. Another deep breath in. And exhale. One more deep breath in and exhale. And on this exhalation, allow yourself to be aware of your heart space. And with that awareness, notice that your heart space is opening, is receptive. And in this place of receptivity, bring your attention to the bottoms of your feet. There's energy portals at the bottoms of your feet. And as you're aware of them, they will open like the eye of a camera. As those open, the denser energies of fear and loss and sorrow and suffering can just fall away. It's heavy. It takes conscious effort to hang on to those things. As you are allowing your heart space to open, it releases you from the burden of carrying them. And they just fall away out the bottoms of your feet. And as that process continues, it could take a little while. As that continues, now bring your awareness to the top of your head. There's an energy portal there. And as you're mindful of that, that opens also like the eye of a camera. Now that's always open. There's always a connection there. But with your willingness, this expands greatly. And this allows you to connect even more deeply to Divine Source, the living light of love. And as you're open and aware of that, you may notice that there's energy portals above your head. And they're different colors, perhaps different structures for you. You will intuitively know which is right for you today. Perhaps it's green, the green portal, or perhaps it's a pink portal, or blue, or iridescent, or golden, or whatever you're imagining is what is right for you right now. And as your awareness touches this, that living light of love will flow down into the top of your head and touch your mind. As it touches your mind, it brings with it this beautiful, gentle energy of peace, this beautiful energy of joy, and this beautiful energy of patience, which is abiding in love. And as that touches your mind, if there's any remaining fear or sorrow or loss, that can just fall away. It's just pushed aside by this beautiful light of love. As more and more love and light flows in, it'll touch your third eye, which is your perception center in the middle of your forehead. The discernment centers above your eyebrows. And their partners at the occipital lobes at the back of your head. This is all that perception mechanism. And allow this living light of love to clear that. So you can perceive the world in a different way. You can perceive the world with the eyes of gratitude. You can perceive the world with the eyes of joy, and the eyes of love, and the eyes of kindness. Letting more and more love and light now touch your ears, your mouth, your jaw, your throat. This is the circuit by which you speak your truth. This is also the circuit by which you hear and perceive someone else's truth. And the wonderful thing is that you don't have to make their truth your truth. You can just be. You don't have to agree. It doesn't make your truth less true. Just allow. And know that as opportunity arises, you can speak your truth with kindness and gentleness and self-control and peace. Letting more of this loving energy flow down into your neck and into your shoulders. We carry a ton of energy and burden and frustration in our shoulders, so you might want to roll your shoulders to release that. You don't need to carry that. You can let it go. Letting more and more love and light flow down your arms and into your hands. This gives you the ability to do worthy work. Meaning whatever you choose to do is worthy of your effort and will bring you worthwhile rewards. Bringing more and more love and light into your full torso. Let this loving light touch every organ, every system, every tissue, every fiber, every cell even down into your cells, even down into the DNA. Allowing this living light of love to heal and find a new expression in your whole state of being. Letting more and more love and light flow through your legs now, into your feet, and let it flow through you into the earth. You're anchoring the living light of love into this earth plane. That's an honorable work. That's a worthy effort. Be grateful for the opportunity to do that. Allow yourself to find a sense of gratitude about that. And know that others are being blessed by that work, that effortless activity. And now gently close the bottoms of your feet. And you are a vessel of light, letting more and more light fill your physical form, more and more love and light filling your body, and the energy field that surrounds your body. And as you're basking in this love and light, let's take a little imaginary trip. Let's take a little journey in our mind. Let's imagine that we're at the lake. Perhaps it's a lake you've been to before. Perhaps it's a different lake. But there's this beautiful body of water, has a beach, a shoreline. There's trees around. And allow yourself to walk on the shoreline. Maybe it's rocky, maybe it's sandy. And you notice there's a fallen tree, and it's nearby. And it's just the right height where you could sit on this fallen tree. It has moss on it. And it feels very peaceful here. And you feel calm here. Notice the warm sun on your face and the cool breeze. It's just a perfect day. Just a perfect day for you. And as you're sitting here, noticing this beautiful, perfect day, you notice that there's a bit of a sorrow or something that's just not as happy as you would like it to be about your life. And as you have a sense of that, whether you feel it coming up in your guts, or you feel it coming up in your heart space, or coming up in your mind, know that you have the power to pull it out of your body. And as you do, it will take form. Perhaps it's like a lump of coal, or perhaps it's just sludge. You can scoop that out. And now what to do with it? You don't want to damage your environment. What you don't realize is this environment, this water that you're looking at, isn't really water. It's the living light of love pooled before you. And it can receive that. So allow yourself to just throw whatever this stuff is out of your body and into the pool, into that lake. And the lake receives it. And there's ripples and cross ripples. And as the ripples subside, you notice that this pool becomes even clearer. And it becomes a pool or a lake of light, shimmering in the sunlight. And you realize that this lake is full of energy you would like to take with you. So as you step off of your tree trunk that you've been sitting on, step over to the lake. Scoop up some of that water. You can drink it in, or you can pour it on. You can scoop it into your heart space, whatever feels right to you. Receive a measure of that light. And feel that light enter and dissipate into every aspect of your being. Feel that light helping you feel lighter and brighter than ever before. And as you're standing here at the edge of this water, you look down and you notice there's something right here as the water touches the land. Perhaps it's a symbolic object. Perhaps it's maybe just a word or a thought or a feeling that you're receiving right now. Receive that with gratitude, even if you don't understand its spiritual significance. Even if all you're actually perceiving is maybe just an energy and you don't really know what that is, receive that anyway. If it's a symbolic object, know that it will have spiritual significance for you. And you will have the opportunity to just explore that and discover that if you don't already know. And as you're feeling this sense of gratitude for receiving this gift, and as you're receiving this light energy, there is a prayer on your heart. A prayer of gratitude and a prayer of request that you would like to have divine light, divine love pay attention to some aspect of your world right now. So with this loving, joyful attention and from a place of peace and gratitude, express your prayer now. And as you're finishing up your prayer, you realize you have a little token of your appreciation, your gratitude that you would like to leave here, whether it's a word or a thought or a feeling or some symbolic object. Allow yourself to leave that gift here. Leave it now. Feeling better, and brighter and clearer, more joyful than you have. Allow yourself to turn and leave this place knowing you can come back at any time. Allow yourself to find your way back into this time and space, back into this room, back into the here and now. Might want to take a deep breath in and exhale. Wiggle fingers, wiggle toes. And welcome back. We'll chat about that in just a moment. Mr. Phil, would you join me up front, please? Communion is a sacred tradition by which we connect and acknowledge the nourishment that we've received today. So would you join us in prayer? Oh, before we do that, we have unleavened bread if you like the tradition of that. There's animal crackers if you want to honor a Native American pathway. And this cup is gluten-free. Whatever works for you works for us. So join us in prayer, please. Loving Spirit of light, as we take this in, nourish us with the truth of who we really are. Nourish us with the truth of how much you truly love us. Nourish us with the truth of love and light in all aspects of our being. We ask that you walk with us in all things and help us to recognize your presence. These things we pray in the name of Jesus. Amen. can only do it from this side. That Virgo thing. Join us in prayer again, please, as that continues around. Loving Spirit of light, as we drink this in, help us to drink in life, all of it, knowing that the sorrows and the trials just bring more love and light in their wake. Help us through the difficult times in life, and help us to find the way of peace in all things. These things we pray in the name of Jesus. Amen.
I'm going to do it myself. Since I see everybody going, I know he's going to call on me, I know he's going to call on me. This is one of those things that is necessary to keep the doors open. You know, fortunately we don't have any paid staff, including Jan and I. That's why we have our businesses. Doing this for over 20 years works just fine the way it is. So we will never, ever, ever beg or make you feel uncomfortable. It's always just a love offering, which you feel is necessary in your own heart to do whatever you need to do. And if you can't give anything, bless the basket as it goes by. Thanks.
Toby.
Look who I found.
Oh.
She needs to be scooped. I'm on duty. I can't scoop a kitten. Aww. Now that's how God feels about you. Just right there. Aww.
Why am I up here?
Okay, she's done. Squirm. Does anyone have a question or comment about their guided meditation today? The gift they received, or you do?
I've never chosen silver before as a color.
Silly things? A silly?
Silver.
Silver. Okay.
Silver. And silly.
I heard silly. See, I've been around filter long.
That's okay. Maybe that's what it is.
So what did you receive? What was it? Just silver?
The color
or-
of the
Oh, the energy of silver?
Yes.
Oh, okay, silver is very reflective, and it's malleable. What else do I need to say about the metal silver? Mary, do you have can you tell me something more about?
It's
a moon.
It's moon's favorite.
Reflects the moon.
Yeah,
Okay.
So it's about being reflective.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Anything else?
That's all.
What'd you receive? May I ask?
I beg your pardon.
What did you receive at the lake?
Seaweed.
Seaweed. What do you think that means
I
for
mean,
you?
of the I don't know.
Okay, so here's what I'm getting on that.
Okay.
You have to trust your own inner ring true to see if it works for you, if it doesn't, if there's
Right.
something else that comes up. So what I'm getting on seaweed is that it's anchored to the floor bed,
Mm-hmm.
seabed, but it floats.
Ah.
It's gentle. It's
Okay. Goes with the
very-
flow.
Goes with the flow. So you've been given an energy to be able to be more flexible
Right.
and more able to go with stuff. Yes, she's going, yes, I need this. Did you leave anything?
Yes, a quartz, milky colored quartz stone, raw stone.
Right. So quartz is about clarity. And when you add the milkiness to it, that's about nurturing and being kind and being what else am I need to say here? Mary, you're my go-to person.
Well, the thing that came up when she was talking about silver was ancient feminine wisdom, which was one of the
What?
Ancient feminine wisdom for the microphone. Yeah,
nurturing part.
Okay.
and nurturing that.
Okay. Thank you.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Anybody else? Oh, let's get her and then we'll just pass it back.
The shoreline, the beach line of the lake was lined with sections of colored pebbles. They were all the same size. There was green and a little strip of white and then blue.
Wow.
And at the edge I was getting an image of moss,
Okay.
and I didn't
So-
leave anything.
Okay, so the beach itself may have been the gift to you. Green is about healing and about abundance. The white is about clarity and purity, purity of mind, purity of heart. And the blue is about communicating. So I think this whole beach was your gift. Cool. Yeah, and the moss, was this something that you were noticing that was to be received for you?
Yes,
Okay, so moss is this cool
moss.
moth.
Yeah.
A mothra. A moth. Say what?
They're attracted to the light.
They're attracted to the light. Okay, so thank you for that. See, I needed help today. A whole lot of help today. So it could be that the people that are ready to heal, ready to get clear, and are ready to hear what you have to say will be drawn to you.
No,
Okay, you want to pass that back? Did that feel right to you, Carol?
Yes, I do.
Did anybody have a rocky beach? Had a couple people rocky beach. What I'm getting on the rocky beach, because I saw that as I was pursuing that, there were some that had really rocky beach and others that was more sandy. If you're experiencing a rocky beach, you've been through rocky times, but it's letting you know that those challenges are being acknowledged by Divine Source, and you're being gifted with the ability to move through them. Does that make sense? Okay, go ahead.
When I looked down at the shoreline, there was a puffer fish.
A puffer fish,
And
okay?
it was puffed up, and I reached down and picked it up and gave it love and light, and it shrank back down in size and went back into the water, and then the silver and white glistened across the shore, across the water. And when I looked down, again, there was like it looked like I was looking for clams, and a little bubble of air came up, and there was a little dark one, just a little tiny one, and when I opened it, there was a little emerald with some sort of paw print of some sort, like, I don't know, looked like a pendant.
Okay,
So
cool.
I put it to my heart, and then I'd taken an amethyst color, kind of a purplish, and I just skipped it
Oh, cool.
across.
All right.
the water.
So let's start with the amethyst. The amethyst is divine connection. So your connection with spirit, connection with divine, it dances on the light. So know that that connection is very beautiful, very bright, and very effortless. All right. Back to your meditation. So start again. What was the first thing you saw?
The puffer,
The
baby
pufferfish. Pufferfish.
It's all
Okay,
puffed up.
so pufferfish, they blow up and they have these spikes so they can't be consumed by a bigger fish. So this is protection. So Spirit is wanting you to know, Divine Source is wanting you to know that you're protected and you're safe. And you breathe love and light into this pufferfish, so you don't have to blow up about stuff, you don't have to get all huffy about stuff, you're protected, you're safe. You don't have to go into defense mode. Divine Spirit's got your back and will provide you the protection that's necessary for you. The clam, this is again protection. This beautiful pendant was within the clam, so it has this shell, so it's protected. But you can shell yourself off or wall yourself off from people, but you don't need to. let Spirit be the shell and be the light and be the protection for you. And you can be true to yourself. And that was what this, what was in the shell again? Tell me that.
Emerald
Emerald.
silver pendant, but that's my birthstone too.
Oh, wonderful. So it's honoring who you really are. Emerald's a very hard stone. You're stronger than you think you are. This is honoring your heart. Honor, as you honor your heart, you will be honored. Does that make sense to you? Does that feel right? Wonderful. Good. Thank you. Anybody else in the back over here? How about right across the aisle?
So I just saw like several fish that were like blue and green in color that would jump up out of the water and go back in. And
I wondered who saw the jumping fish. That's fun.
yeah, and then like a checkbook floated onto the shore.
You want to write me a check? J-A-N.
And I gave back a shell.
Okay, so the checkbook. Well, let me ask on that. Oh, whatever you need is going to be gifted to you. You know, what you need, all your basic needs are going to be supplied. So you'll have what you need when you need it. The key is knowing what's the difference between a need and a want. And then you gave back what?
A shell.
A shell. What kind of shell?
It was just a white shell, a shiny white shell.
So was it like a single shell?
Yeah, just a single shell.
Okay, so this is, was it white on the inside? Or just white everywhere?
It was white everywhere, you know, that like kind of like opalish look.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so it's like an abalone shell that's been polished?
Yes.
Okay, so this is, by giving that back, you're acknowledging your ability to shine and your ability to be that iridescent being that you are, being the light that you are. So this is your willingness to be able to step into that even more fully.
Thank you.
Does that feel right to you?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Anybody else? Questions, comments? One more over here.
Mine almost seemed too simple to share, but I'll share it. The gift to me was a ball of chocolate.
A ball of chocolate?
Milk
Wow.
chocolate. And I ate
Yes.
it, and it just melted. It was delicious, you know.
Oh.
Yeah, and the gift I gave was just a diamond, a little diamond that kind of just trickled down the water.
She got chocolate and shared a diamond, and it's just, no. Okay, so this is about consuming, receiving, and appreciating the sweetness of life. Letting it just go in and being receptive of that, and knowing that now is the time to receive, and you get to. You know, sometimes when good things come to us, we're used to thinking, well, I shouldn't have good things. I need to not have good, allow good things to come to you. You get to. And you gave back a diamond. So this is the ability to be clear, to be bright. Diamonds are multifaceted. So whatever circumstances you're in, it's the ability to be clear. So this grants you the ability, through receiving the sweetness of life, then you could be really clear. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, a lot. Thank you.
So there's no little anything. No just. They're all awesome and amazing. I do have a sweet request to ask before we wrap up. Mary Lou got home from the hospital, but she